When school ended that day, I had to drop in at a small arcade near my home for a haircut. It had been my mom's final instruction as I raced out the front door that morning. Dylan, your hair is too long. You are looking like a sheep. You must go to the barber on your way home after school. And she'd pushed some money into my hand. But Mom, I argued, it's too cold to get my hair cut. I need all that hair. If I get rain on my head, I'll catch pneumonia. Dylan won't. If you don't go to the barber today, I'll cut your hair myself. Yuck. The last time she'd done that, I looked like a plaited chicken for a week. I said goodbye to my friends at the bus stop and entered the arcade just as it began to rain. Most of the shops were busy except the barber's. He was reading the papers, and his face lit up when I walked in. His slippers were icy cold against my neck as he started work. Soon my hair was piling up on the floor at his feet. Mom, I thought, why do you enjoy torturing me? 10 minutes later, the barber was finished. I paid him the money and stepped outside. And that was when a voice behind me said, "You're the boy who did so well in school today, aren't you?" I swung around startled and came face to face with an elderly man who was stooping over me. I froze in my tracks. Now let's get something straight. My parents have always taught me not to talk to strangers. I'd never seen anyone as strange as that man. His body was hidden beneath a thick black coat. His forehead was high and white. White hair sprouted from his scalp in thin strands. Blotchy skin hung in wrinkles on his long face. His nose was bulbous. His broad, round tip a mass of broken blood vessels that looked like red cobwebs. But it was his eyes that chilled me most. Blazing eyes that seemed to be swimming in two pools of red liquid. Blood, it must have been blood. I backed away, but he closed the distance between us. His thin black lips twisted themselves into an eerie smile. His breath floated in the air between us like fog. "You are the boy who wrote that profound essay, aren't you?" There was that word again. Profound. I was spooked. How did the weird old man know that Miss Doris had said my essay was profound? He hadn't been in my classroom. "Well, I'm right, aren't I?" he hissed. His eyes seemed to be boring into the back of my brain. I nodded, took another step backwards, and came to a hard stop. Hard against the wall. I was trapped. "You said that Ice Age begins could be set free by global warming," he went on. "You said that they could escape from beneath the polar ice cap and be a menace to the world." Fear rose in my throat, bringing the taste of my lunch with it. His gruesome smile grew wider. "Such a clever idea, wasn't it, Dylan? Do you always have such flashes of brilliance on the bus?" His starry eyes mocked me. "Now tell me honestly, whose idea do you think it was?" I was numb with terror. My lips sputtered enough to utter, "Yours." "Exactly, Dylan. It was my idea. I sent it into your mind. The old man was a raving nut. People cannot do that kind of thing. Or can they?" My brain was in a spin. He had never read my essay, but he knew exactly where I had written it and what it said. He hadn't been in the classroom yet. He knew exactly what Miss Doris had told me. He even knew my name. He was freaking me out. I didn't know who he was or where he came from or how he knew so much. And I didn't want to find out. I had to get out of there. So I did the only thing I could do. I swung my stool back at him. Then I screamed at the top of my voice. My back had passed right through his body. I was frozen to the spot in horror. The old man was leering at me. I swung my back a second time. A Dane sliced right through him. "You are a ghost," I yelled. People were turning to stare at me. They must have thought I was loony. Before any of them could stop me, I ducked to one side and bolted down the arcade. And when I glanced back to see if the old man was following me, he was gone.